Childhood trauma casts a long shadow, affecting not just the immediate moments of a child's life, but echoing into their future in profound ways. It's not just about experiencing a single terrible event, it's about the cumulative effect of multiple, ongoing stressors that can overwhelm a child's ability to cope. It's about enduring ongoing abuse, neglect, or dysfunction during those critical early years. These experiences can disrupt the development of a child's brain and body, leading to long-term consequences. Sadly, this affects millions of children worldwide, cutting across all demographics and communities. No child is immune, regardless of their background or circumstances. These adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, range from physical, emotional, or sexual abuse to witnessing domestic violence. They can also include parental separation, incarceration of a family member, and bullying, or living with substance abuse in the home. The presence of mental illness in a caregiver can also be a significant source of trauma for a child. They leave deep wounds, shaping a child's developing brain and body in ways we're only beginning to understand. The stress from these experiences can alter brain structure and function, affecting learning, behavior, and health. The impact of these experiences doesn't disappear when a child grows up. Instead, they can manifest in various ways, such as difficulties in relationships, mental health issues, and challenges in education and employment. Instead, they can linger for decades, increasing the risk of various health problems throughout a person's life. These can include chronic illnesses, mental health disorders, and even a shortened lifespan. Understanding and addressing childhood trauma is crucial for breaking this cycle and fostering healthier futures. The immediate effects of childhood trauma are often impossible to miss. Traumatized children may exhibit signs of distress, such as anxiety, fear, sadness, or anger. They may struggle to sleep, experience nightmares, or show regressive behaviors like bedwetting. Some children may withdraw socially, avoiding interaction with peers and adults. They might struggle to concentrate in school, leading to academic difficulties. Others might act out, becoming aggressive or engaging in risky behaviors. These immediate responses are not signs of weakness. They are natural reactions to overwhelming stress and adversity. Recognizing these signs early on is crucial for providing appropriate support and intervention. The mental health consequences of childhood trauma can be profound and long-lasting. Trauma can disrupt the development of a child's brain, particularly areas responsible for emotional regulation, impulse control, and stress response. This can lead to an increased risk of various mental health conditions, including depression, anxiety disorders, post-traumatic stress disorder, and substance abuse. These individuals may struggle with intense emotions, negative self-image, and difficulty forming healthy relationships. The trauma experienced in childhood can create a cycle of vulnerability. Individuals who have experienced trauma may be more likely to experience further trauma in their lives, perpetuating the cycle of mental health challenges. The impact of childhood trauma extends beyond mental health. Research has shown a strong correlation between adverse childhood experiences and chronic physical health problems later in life. These include heart disease, stroke, diabetes, autoimmune diseases, and certain types of cancer. The constant activation of the stress response system due to trauma takes a toll on the body, leading to inflammation and increasing the risk of these conditions. This connection highlights the interconnectedness of our mental and physical health. Addressing childhood trauma is not just about improving mental well-being. It's about preventing chronic diseases and promoting overall health. Section 5. The Science of Trauma: How Experiences Shape Our Biology. Advances in neuroscience have provided valuable insights into how childhood trauma affects the brain and body. Researchers have discovered that traumatic experiences, especially those occurring during critical developmental periods, can leave lasting imprints on our neural architecture. Studies have shown that traumatic experiences can alter the structure and function of the developing brain. These changes are not just temporary. They can persist into adulthood, influencing behavior, cognition, and emotional regulation. For instance, trauma can impact the hippocampus, a brain region crucial for memory and learning. The hippocampus is responsible for forming new memories and connecting them to emotions and senses. It can also affect the amygdala, which processes emotions. The amygdala plays a key role in how we perceive threats and react to stressful situations, often triggering the fight or flight response, and the prefrontal cortex responsible for decision-making and impulse control. This area of the brain helps us plan, focus attention, and manage our impulses, all of which can be disrupted by trauma. These alterations can lead to long-term changes in how individuals perceive and respond to stress, making them more sensitive to stressors and less able to cope with everyday challenges, increasing their vulnerability to mental and physical health problems. Conditions such as anxiety, depression, and even chronic illnesses like heart disease have been linked to early trauma. Understanding these biological mechanisms is essential for developing effective interventions. By recognizing how trauma shapes our biology, we can create targeted therapies that address the root causes of these changes, offering hope for recovery and resilience. Section 6. Case Studies. When trauma leaves its mark. The impact of childhood trauma can be seen in the lives of countless individuals. Consider the case of Sarah, who experienced neglect and emotional abuse as a child. Now an adult, she struggles with anxiety, depression, and chronic fatigue. Or take the example of John, who witnessed domestic violence growing up. He battles with anger management issues, has difficulty forming healthy relationships, and suffers from heart disease. These stories, while fictionalized, represent the lived experiences of many. They highlight the pervasive and long-lasting consequences of childhood trauma on individuals' lives. Section 7. Expert Opinions, Insights from the Field. In this section, we delve into the invaluable insights provided by leading experts who have dedicated their careers to understanding and addressing childhood trauma. Leading experts in the field, like Dr. Bruce Perry and Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, have emphasized the critical need to address childhood trauma. Their research and clinical work have shed light on the profound and lasting effects that early traumatic experiences can have on an individual's development and well-being. They stress that early intervention and trauma-informed care are crucial for mitigating the long-term effects of these experiences. By identifying and addressing trauma early, we can help children develop healthier coping mechanisms and build resilience, which can significantly improve their life outcomes. They advocate for a holistic approach that addresses not only the psychological, but also the biological and social impacts of trauma. This means considering the whole person and their environment, rather than just focusing on symptoms. Holistic care can include therapy, medical treatment, social support, and educational interventions. This includes providing safe and supportive environments, teaching coping mechanisms, and fostering strong, positive relationships. Schools, families, and communities all play a vital role in creating these nurturing environments where children can feel secure and valued. Addressing the underlying causes of trauma is also essential. This involves understanding the root causes, such as abuse, neglect, or exposure to violence, and working to prevent these situations from occurring in the first place. Community outreach programs and public awareness campaigns are key components in this effort. Their work has been instrumental in raising awareness about the prevalence and impact of childhood trauma. Through public seminars, awareness campaigns, and educational materials, they have helped to bring this critical issue to the forefront of public consciousness. Advocating for policy changes to support affected individuals and families is another crucial aspect of their work. By influencing legislation and promoting trauma-informed policies, they aim to create a more supportive and understanding society for those who have experienced trauma. Their efforts have led to significant advancements in how we approach and treat childhood trauma, ultimately helping to create a brighter future for countless children and families. Section 8. Breaking the Cycle, Addressing Childhood Trauma. Addressing childhood trauma requires a multifaceted approach. Early identification and intervention are key. This involves providing support and resources to children and families who have experienced trauma. Trauma-informed care, which recognizes and responds to the signs and symptoms of trauma, should be integrated into various settings, including schools, healthcare systems, and social services. Furthermore, creating supportive communities and promoting positive parenting practices can help prevent childhood trauma and mitigate its impact. Breaking the cycle of trauma is essential for building a healthier and more resilient society. Section 9. Conclusion. Towards a future of healing. The impact of childhood trauma on lifelong health is undeniable. It affects millions worldwide, leading to a range of mental and physical health problems. However, by understanding the science behind trauma and implementing effective interventions, we can mitigate its impact and foster healing. Investing in trauma-informed care, early childhood programs, and supportive communities is not just about addressing a social issue, it's about improving public health and creating a brighter future for generations to come. By working together, we can break the cycle of trauma and create a world where all children have the opportunity to thrive.